Best Speaker 2012, organized by the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya. Right, now there are three aims of public speaking. Usually, a speaker who speaks in public has three aims. Aim number one, you have to get into the subject. The public speaker gets into the subject. Aim number two, to get the subject into yourself. To get the subject into yourself. And lastly, to get the subject into the heart of the audience. But there's a challenge here. There's a very big challenge. The challenge is to get the subject into the heart of the audience before they start crying out, "Hey, stop it, get off the stage and go to the sty where you came from."
Completely admit, Dinu, because it's human nature to be bored and to be sick of listening to the others. But the Intra-University Best Speaker Contest 2012 is not a place where the boredom is allowed. Instead, in the Intra-University Best Speaker Contest 2012, the hope, enthusiasm, and the anticipation are allowed. Ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant afternoon to all of you. We welcome you all to the grand finals of the Intra-University Best Speaker 2012, organized by the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya.
I don't have my papers here. Sri Lanka is a country which takes pride in our customs and traditions. And as our customs and traditions dictate, up next in our agenda is lighting of the traditional oil lamp. And for that, I would like to warmly welcome
the chief guest, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, Professor Sarath Amunugama, the guest of honor, the Political Officer of United States Embassy to Sri Lanka and Maldives, Mr. William Linzenmeyer, the mentor of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Mr. Sujith Bandulahewa, the Director of the Career Guidance Unit, Dr. M.P.D. Fernando, the Senior Treasurer of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Dr. M.P. Diyamulla, the patrons of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Professor Kapila Seneviratna, Senior Lecturer Mr. Ajit Mendis, and Mr. Ruwana Besekara,
Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor D.D.S. Kularatna, Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, Professor Lakshman Seneviratna, the panel of judges, Head of the ELTU of the University of Kelaniya, Dr. Dilkushi Wagtawa, Immediate Past President of the Lyceum Toastmasters Club, Mrs. Tanya Vitanage, Mr. Sujith Bandulahewa, mentor of the Gavel Club, former President of Sampath Toastmasters Club, Mr. Nalin Basnaika, Immediate Past President of Wattala Toastmasters Club, Sam Jayaselvan, Project Chairperson of the Intra-University Best Speakers Contest 2012, Trimal Katipiarachi, and President of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Chamira Silva.
kindly call upon the Director of the Students' Affairs also to join for lighting the oil lamp. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I cordially invite the project chairperson of the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012, Mr. Trimal Katipearachi, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya proudly presents the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012. An event built on hard work and the undying spirit of the Gavel family. A family which I had belonged to for more than 3 years. This is where I learned the importance of public speaking and promoting a culture where English language is spoken freely and confidently. It was all these reasons that made me accept the task of being the project chairperson of the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012 with great pride and honor. Seeing a workforce of dozens of brothers and sisters working together with me was a very humbling experience. And it was the hard work and dedication of all of us in the Gavel family that has brought us here today. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all gathered here today to the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012. First of all, it gives me great honor to welcome Professor Sarath Amunugama, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya. Sir, it gives us great strength to see you as our chief guest. Next, I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Mr. William Linsenmeyer, the political officer of the United States Embassy. Sir, it gives us great pleasure to have you with us here today, and I hope you enjoy the proceedings. It also gives me immense joy to welcome Dr. Narada Fernando, the Director of the Career Guidance Unit, without whose support this event would have been impossible. I would also like to welcome Dr. MP Diyamulla, the Senior Treasurer of the Gavel Club, who is, as everyone in the Gavel family knows, is more of our father figure than our senior treasurer. It gives us great pride to see you among us today. And I would also like to welcome the Director of the Staff Development Unit, Dr. MPC Tilakaratna, the Deans of 5 faculties of the University of Kelaniya, the department heads, the lecturers who always support us. Next, I would like to welcome our mentor and our patrons. Thank you for joining us today. It also gives me great joy to welcome our elite and distinguished panel of judges. I hope our event will bring you great enjoyment and hopefully make your job of choosing the best speaker a little bit tougher because of the great talent and potential of our contestants. I take this opportunity to welcome all the Toastmasters present here today, our past Gaviliers, participants of our contest, the non-academic staff of the University of Kelaniya, the invitees of the academic community, the teachers, school students, and undergraduates of other universities, and also our parents, family members, and friends for supporting us throughout this event. Last but not least, I would like to welcome all the Gaviliers and our friends. I hope today's event makes your hard work worthwhile. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to celebrate the brilliance of the English language on stage delivered by 6 amazing competitors. Welcome and hope you enjoy this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trimal. Now I kindly invite Dr. N.P.D. Fernando, the Director of the Career Guidance Unit of the University of Kelaniya, to voice his thoughts.
Vice Chancellor, Professor Sarath Amunugama, Chief Guest of this event, and Mr. Williams, Guest of Honor for this event, and the Dean, Faculty of Science, Professor Sarath Kulathunga, and our former Director, Career Guidance Unit, Dr. Diya Mulla, and all the department heads, distinguished guests, and my dear students. So it gives me immense pleasure to address all of you in this event. Because as university students, we start our studies with the hope of obtaining a degree, maybe with a class or with a complete pass. But when we touch the job market, graduates, those who qualified from various universities, having more or less same degrees, maybe in science, maybe in commerce, or maybe in arts. So the curriculum they are following, more or less same. But we have to distinguish, you have to distinguish and to keep an identity to your degree and your skills. So as the Career Guidance Unit, so we identified that with our traditional education system, we are missing that skill part. So we are having academic knowledge, but we have to upgrade or improve that skill part. Maybe basic communication skills, leadership skills, teamwork, and spirit to work in a work environment. So with that intention, so we develop many activities for students in Kelaniya University. So recently they conduct research by the education system of Sri Lanka, and they realized that the single skill human resource is not sufficient to grab the potential of job market. So instead of this single skilled human resource, so they are suggesting multi-skill human resource. So that's what we are doing here. So we equip these students with relevant knowledge in their disciplines, selected disciplines, as well as so they are incapable of developing their soft skill which is requested by the job market or the corporate world, especially in Sri Lankan economy. So in there, that they are not developing communication skills here. To organize an event like this, so they are planning, organizing, and leadership skills done a major job. So I saw in past few weeks, the Gavel Club members, they had few sleepless nights and worked even in the holidays to make this event a success. So I think because of that, I must thank the team of Gavel Club for organizing this type of event. And I wish the success for this Best Speaker Contest 2012. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It takes me great honor to invite the chief guest of IUBSC 2012, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, Professor Sarath Amunugama, to address the gathering.
Good evening to everybody. Fortunately, the judges are not yet in their chairs, otherwise they would take me also for a competitor. Anyway, Mr. Williams, our guest of honor for this event today, Dean, Faculty of Science, Professor Kulatunga, Director of Career Guidance Unit and the former Director, Career Guidance Unit, Director, Student Affairs, and all other members of the academic staff of University of Kelaniya, the members of the panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, my dear children. In fact, I'm very pleased to take part in this event today as a guest or as a chief guest, whatever you like, because this event has become a regular event in the University of Kelaniya since a few years ago, and I have seen the development of interest in our own students to take part in such activities. That's a very good sign of the enthusiasm in our students. And I must thank the former director of Career Guidance Unit, Dr. Diyamula, as well as the present director of the same unit, for encouraging our students to take part in such events where they can definitely identify their own talents, develop them, and make use of them for betterment of their life. And I heard today that there are more and more students gathering around the Career Guidance Units, and also almost all faculties are represented among the first round candidates. As the director mentioned, of course, our courses, well, they are being changed, they are being revised, of course, according to the needs of the country, needs of the society, needs of the economy, needs of the world. They do not, in fact, carry most of the time, or they do not offer most of the time to develop the skills, the skill part of life. We give them knowledge in such a way so that they can become intelligent people, useful for the society. But what we can do mostly is to give them opportunity to identify their talents. And our duty would be also to help them to develop it by organizing this kind of things, so that they can definitely learn much more than what they learn within the four walls of the classroom, so that the output of the university would be in form of citizens who would serve the country, who would serve the world, who would serve the humanity correctly, having correct attitudes. So anyway, as head of the institution, I must express my sincere gratitude to the director and the former director of the Career Guidance Unit, and also thank the sponsors, all those who are helping them, the Toastmasters, the other members of the academic staff. I know that they in spite of their heavy schedule, they come and serve our children for the purpose. And I believe all what they do would definitely be very beneficial for our students. Before I conclude, let me again, I ought to have welcome as head of the institution all those who are here. So I do it now at the end of my speech. And I believe this intra-university activity will be developed into the inter-university competition, which is going to be held, I do not know when, very soon, I believe. And I'm very proud to say that during the last few years, the best speaker at the inter-university competition had been the competitors from University of Kelaniya. Am I right? I think, yeah. So we are going to witness a competition which would lead definitely further than this intra-university competition. Thank you very much, and I wish all of you a very good evening and all the best for your future. Thank you very much.
Now the souvenirs will be handed over by Shamira Silva to the chief guest, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, Professor Sarath Amunugama, and to our guest of honor, to Mr. William Lindsay Meyer. And to the Director of the Career Guidance Unit, Dr. M.P.D. Fernando. And to the Senior Treasurer of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Dr. M.P.D. Amulla. And to Dr. Tilakaratna, the Director of the STU. Thank you very much. Now we have come to the most anticipated moment of the program. I see the faces of the 6 finalists filled with hope, enthusiasm, and anticipation. So, let thy flames of desire ignite the torch of success. I would like to hand over the control of the contest to the contest chair, by whom I was requested to tell that he was a Ruggerite when he was at school, though apparently he is not. Please give a big round of applause to the contest chair, the current Vice President Education of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Dinuk Munasinghe.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, the best speaker 2012. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge the judges for today's finals, the grand finale. I would like to start off with Mr. Sam Selvanathan. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please take your seats at the head table? Yes, Mr. Sam Selvanathan. He's the immediate past president of Wattala Toastmasters Club, and he works for Nestle PLC. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sam Selvanathan. Mrs. Tanya Vitanage, she's a Bridgetian, and she's the immediate past president of Lyceum Toastmasters Club. She has completed her ACB, and she's a teacher at Lyceum School Nugegoda, and she loves music, it seems. Mrs. Tanya Vitanage. He is a marketing manager at Education Times, and he's a mentor of our Gavel Club, a pioneer in the Toastmaster movement of Sri Lanka. He formed the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, acting as the chief judge, Mr. Sujit Bandulaheva. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sujit Bandulaheva. Dr. Dilkushi Senaratna is the head of the ELTU at the University of Kelaniya. She's a member of the UTEL Benchmark Design Team, coordinator of the UNFPA Faculty of Humanities, a reviewer of the University Development Grant Proposals. Dr. Dilkushi Senaratna. Mr. Nalin Basnayaka is a former president of the Sampath Toastmasters Club, and he works at the Sampath Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nalin Basnayaka. Right, moving on to the contest rules and regulations. The contest will comprise of two phases, namely the prepared speech session and the impromptu speech session. The speech timings will be as follows. For the prepared speeches, speech should be between 5 to 7 minutes. A speaker will be disqualified if the speech falls short of 4 minutes 30 seconds, or if it exceeds 7 minutes 30 seconds. For the impromptu speeches, the speech should be at least 2 minutes long, and speaker will be disqualified if the speech falls short of 1 minute or if it exceeds 3 minutes. In order to assist the contestants with the timing, a light set with 3 different colors will be used to indicate the time. In case of a power failure, we have color cards. Today's timing will be done by veteran Gavilier Wajira Kirtiratna. The timings for the prepared speeches: at the end of the 5th minute, the green light will be lit. At the end of the 6th minute, the yellow light will be lit. And at the end of the 7th minute, the red light will be lit. For the impromptu speeches, at the end of the 1st minute, the green light will be lit. At the end of 1 minute and 30 seconds, the yellow light will be lit. And at the end of 2 minutes, the red light will be lit. The red light will be kept switched on until a speaker finishes his or her speech. There will be no indication made to the contestant in the event of disqualification. It is the responsibility of the speaker to finish a speech during the allotted time period as indicated. The selection of topics. For prepared speeches, contestants are free to speak on any topic of his or her choice, apart from those which discriminate a particular section of a community or are politically motivated. Originality must be maintained in all speeches. Breach of this may lead to disqualification. On the use of electronic devices, the use of electronic devices and other aids, including visuals, slide projectors, and charts, will not be permitted. The decision of the judges will be final. If a situation arises where 2 or more contestants have an equal number of points, the tie-breaking judge will be involved in making the final decision. There are a set of rules for the contestants, and there are also a set of rules for the audience. A 1-minute silence has to be maintained after each and every speech. This is to facilitate the scoring procedure by the judges. I would appreciate, and I would like to kindly request all the members of the audience to turn off their cellular phones or put them on silent mode. Doors will be closed at all times during a speech. No one will be allowed to leave or enter the venue when a speech is in progress. The washrooms are onto my right-hand side. And there are emergency exits, 2 at the front, 2 in the middle, and 2 at the back. And there is one also at the back of the stage. So, are the contestants ready? Are the judges ready? The judges are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, let the contest begin. Contestant number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 1, common crime. Common crime, contestant number 1.
My mother had told me that I was good in doing 3 things: eating, sleeping, and of course, eavesdropping. And that was exactly what I was doing the other day when 2 of my best friends were talking. You should know how to handle him, no? Don't do everything that he says. Be a bit stuck up, girl. But will that help? Of course that will help. When you show him that he's not the only guy for you, he'll surely hit the panic button. But if you go on like that, I'm sure he'll dump you in a matter of weeks. Contest chair, esteemed panel of judges, that was just SILLY, silly advice, given by an I-know-it-all girl the other day. Why silly? Because that girl who was so confident in handling such a delicate matter, such as a relationship, had never, ever been in a relationship herself. Wow, I thought. She surely knows it all. How clever. Advice just flows from her. She must be an exemplary girlfriend. Now that is what I thought. But the reality was quite the contrary. Advice, 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 advice. The world is full of it. Everybody knows to give advice. But do we really pause to think if we really know of what we are speaking about? I don't think so. We have absolutely no idea of the damage wrong advice can cause in a person's life. That is why I consider it a crime. Crimes are of two types: crimes which will be punished by the law, and crimes which will be punished by the even-handed justice, as Shakespeare's Macbeth would say. Rape, murder, theft, robbery, these are crimes which will be punished by the law. In any instance, a criminal manages to get off scot-free in any of these instances, he will be punished by the qualms of conscience which will prick him, and that will be far worse than any punishment any code can impose. Us human beings are blessed with the power of speech. Simply put, we can talk. And what a lot do we talk. Speaking without knowing, or speaking for the sake of speaking. Is that a crime? Consider that advisor friend I spoke of. She had absolutely no idea of what she was speaking about. There are many who fall victim to her, but she does not take the responsibility of the effects of her advice. Thus is the seriousness of this crime, friends. This crime had become so rampant in society that we have almost got immune to it. The best of the best advice is heard at a funeral house. No offense to any of those great Greek philosophers, but we surely top them all. We philosophize on the impermanence of life and the inconsistency of happiness. Everything is so impermanent. But what do we really know of the pain of a person who had lost a loved one for a lifetime? The next best advice is heard after exam results. A friend had failed. Nobody else knows positive thinking like we do. We boost him up to go forward and never give up. But what do we really know of the pain, the suffering, the rejection, and maybe the dejection of a person who had failed to achieve something he had worked for a lifetime? Have you ever come across those great ladies who preach on the do's and don'ts of a happy marriage? Most of the time, their formula for a happy family life depends on considering your spouse a good-for-nothing fellow who needs perpetual moral and spiritual guidance, and considering yourself as the savior angel who had been planted on the earth to help him out. Seems like quite a noble thought, isn't it? But the results of implementing that thought can be far worse than a tsunami. And the chances are that those marriage advisors are happy and proud divorcees. There are three things in life which cannot be reversed once done: a stone once thrown, a moment once spent, and a word once spoken. Words damage, words hurt, words kill. I could remember the other day where a certain guy friend in university didn't turn up for 3 days. He had asked a certain girl out, and based on the advice of his best friend, and mind you, it was that classic macho advice of, your boy, be a man, ask her out. And apparently, the father of that girl had been a police commissioner. Poor guy. So the next time you get the casual impulse of passing a piece of casual advice to one of your friends, pause, stop, take time to think if you really know of what you are speaking. Over to you.
Okay, we move on to the next contestant. Contestant number 2. Bully the bullies. Bully the bullies. Contestant number 2.
Years ago, I was alone. I was fat. Yes, still I am. But then I was so fat. But I was the only child of my family, so I was so alone. One day, I went to the boutique. Suddenly, well-built guys gathered around me. One came front and asked me, "Hey, Fatso, come here. Do this." Imitating a hen. If you were there, what is the immediate reaction? Stop them. Contestant, ladies and gentlemen, it is the time to bully the bullies. Have you ever been bullied? Has it ever happened to your peers, your family members, your girlfriend, your boyfriend? See, people have so many ideas about bullying, so many opinions. Someone would say it is just kicking, jabbing, punching a person. Another person could say, well, saying mean things, calling names. My definition is rather simple. My definition is, if a person does something on purpose to hurt another person's feeling, well, that's bullying. I was 15 years old. I was the scrum half of our college rugby team. I was arrogant. I was the dirtiest player in the game, if you know what I mean. So, one day, at the playground, there were no coach, no master in charge. There were under 13 team members. We were under 15 team members. Wow, golden opportunity. I called my other team members. We went there. I called one of them. Hey, you, junior player, come here. We got more experience than you. Give us 30 push-ups. Then worship us. They were intimidated. They worshipped us. Unfortunately, in our society, they got myths about bullying. Myth number 1, people are born bullies. Well, bullying is a behavior. Behaviors can be learned. Behaviors can be changed. Well, if bullying is behavior, we can change that. We should accept it. Another myth is, bullying is a normal part and parcel of life. Well, bullying is not normal. Bullying is something weird. Let's get that out of our lives. See, when I take myself, once I was a victim, once I was a bully. I was on those two sides. I have the vast experience in this subject. So, another person who talked to me about this subject told me, well, bullying, if you tell it to somebody, it will make it worse. Don't tell anybody that you get bullied by this person. Oh, come on. Research shows that the effect will be reduced through communication. Next of all, there's another myth. Bullying is a school problem. It is not for the society. It is only for the school children. Well, bullying happens in your lecture room, outside your lecture room, in your workplace, in the society, even in the supermarket. So, think about it. It's a vast problem. Last but not the least, hit back the bully. Wah! It's worse. physical harm. Apart from these myths, we should concentrate on the consequences of bullying. Would lead him to suicide. Just imagine bullying, physically, social alienation, intimidation, recently they call it cyberbullying. This could take lives of many people. If you have a news about a person who fires a revolver or a pistol at his
We need to observe a 2-minute silence. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 3, what are words for? What are words for contestant number 3?
When I was 10, my mother called me Little Romeo. I had a cute face and a cuter smile. Contestia, ladies and gentlemen, one day while me and Mom were shopping, I saw someone cuter. She was my first crush. I was speechless, but I ran towards her, clutching my lollipop. I wanted to give it to her and tell her, I love you. Her eyes were shining. I was the Romeo and she was my Juliet. But then, suddenly, a big fat guy came, took the lollipop from her and threw it on the floor. It was her brother and he had spoiled my first date. I went back to my mother crying, Mommy, I lost my lollipop! That day, I didn't know whether it was love or not, but I liked the feeling. When I was 15, I found my real girlfriend. When I saw her for the first time, I didn't give her my lollipop. No. What I did was, I searched whether she had a brother. She didn't have a brother. Wait a minute, I don't want to spoil this chance again. So I went for advice. I asked one of my friends who is an expert in this particular subject. He told me to refer a book. Yes, a book. So I went to the library and found this particular book called Dating Rules. I went through the first rule. Play hard to get. Play hard to get what? And then the second rule. Be 15 minutes late to your date. That doesn't make any sense. I'm getting ready for my date 15 days earlier. And then the third rule. When he comes. What? When he? I quickly turned on to the cover and it said, Dating Rules for Women. I threw the book away and went out of the library as if nothing happened. And then, I decided to do it in my way. I went to her, looked straight into her eyes, and asked, what would you say if I said, I love you? Do you know what she said? She said, ask my dad. I said, no, I don't have a crush on your dad. First it was the big fat brother, now it's dad. I went to her dad. My legs were shivering. Daddy, uncle, I love your daughter. Who do you think you are to ask for my daughter? To be honest, answering uncle's list of questions were harder than sitting for an exam. But her dad said okay. And she said yes too. And I'm no longer single. The little Romeo had become a big boy. When I was 20, I remember that night, we were on the beach. I gave her a gift. And the gift was this. She really liked it. Oh, how cute. It really looked like you. I know I'm cute, but does this look like me? No. The moment was special. And I remember I told her these few words. I'll be there anytime you whisper my name. I love you. She came closer to me. Closer. Closer. She closed her eyes. I closed mine. She was wearing a soft dress, but her skin was softer. I will never forget that day. The next year, it was a special day. It was her birthday and I wanted to surprise her. She looked even more beautiful when she got angry. So I didn't call her in the morning. I didn't reply for her text. Obviously, she was mad, but I had a plan. I wanted to buy her the best gift ever. I went to a shop. All of a sudden, I got a phone call. I looked at it. It was her. I didn't pick the phone, but I managed to pick the perfect gift for her. And then I ran as soon as possible to the place we were going to meet up. Obviously, it was the beach. The best part of our relationship, I loved surprising her, and she love receiving them. But on this day, I looked around. I even looked under the bench. She wasn't there either. Then I tried to call her. Her phone was off. I felt terrible. It was a big day. It was a big 21st, and she's not here to celebrate it with me. And then my life came crashing down. Do you remember that I told you I didn't pick the first call? It was her. She had met with an accident while she was on the phone trying to reach me. She had suffered a brain injury, paralyzed. She can't walk anymore. She doesn't remember the good old days. She doesn't remember me. What kind of a guy would I be if I was to leave her when she needed me most? I remembered the words I said. I'll be there anytime you whisper my name. I love you. What are words if you really don't mean them when you say them? What are words if they are only for good times? The word love may be just 4 letters long, but it's the most powerful word in the world because it describes the amazing power residing in every human's heart. And I know this angel was sent just for me. I will never leave her when she needs me most. Words are for making promises, but actions, what proves those words? Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep your phones on silent or switch them off, please. If I hear one of the phones ringing, the owner will be asked to come on stage, and I will let him do the job of the contest chair. Judges are all ready. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 4, the play. The play, contestant number 4.
When was the last time you played dress up? 10 years ago? 12 years back? Maybe as a kid? Wrong. The last time we all played dress up was this morning. And we are still in the play. Mr. Contest Chair, ladies and gentlemen, when we were small, we used to wear oversized clothes and oversized slippers pretending to be teachers, doctors, pilots, and superheroes. But as we grew out of these clothes, we grew out of our pretend play. We stopped playing with dolls. We stopped playing with cars. But we didn't immerse ourselves in reality. Instead, we started playing a different game. A game called life. Last Saturday, I was at a party, and two girls were talking. Oh, I just love Shakespeare. He's such a romantic old chap. I know what you mean. What's your favorite sonnet? Oh, I love all his work, but my favorite would be Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. I've never felt sorry for anyone in my life as much as I felt for William Shakespeare on that day. But before you laugh at that girl and her twinkles, ask yourself this question. Have you never pretended to know something you don't? Have you never pretended to be someone you're not? These days, we have budget discussions. True that 4.2% has gone up to 6.8%, but as the 19.8% has come down to 18.2%, I don't think it would make much of a difference. Or the US presidential elections that Sri Lankans seems to know more about. Obama has got 482,912 votes. Romney has got only 216,111 votes. There's such a margin between these two, I'm pretty sure there must be some sort of a computer Gilmart. We are still in the play. But unlike before, we don't choose what to wear anymore. We let the society dress us up. Why? Because we want to feel belonged. Humans by nature are a social creature. We need a group of people, a herd, to belong to. Preferably the prettiest or the strongest herd there is. Once upon a time, I was the prettiest in the arms of the strongest. His name was Ashan Koditwaku. We were the envy of all our friends. When I met him, I was the girl who could distinguish between 35 species of chimera in Sri Lanka, including their specific families and genuses. But with him, I felt the need to change. I used to be the girl who could write 3 chapters on Beethoven's 6th Symphony while watching Back to the Future for the umpteenth time. But with him, I was the girl who knew Snooky's last name and how many guys Jessica Alba went out with. For your information, it wasn't that many. She's a pretty decent girl. I used to be the girl who could spend hours with Ashan's younger brother, helping him draw the microscopic exoskeleton of a Vietnamese stomach worm. But with him, all I had time to draw was L'Oreal nail polish on my fingernails. I was changed. I was cool. I was one of them. It was 14th of February. I was expecting flowers, chocolates, maybe a romantic dinner out. But all I got was a phone call. You're not the girl I thought you to be. You've changed. I don't want to do this anymore. I fell and I fell. All my life, I was searching for who I was. Being the girlfriend to the star basketball player of the school, I thought I had to be the cheerleader girlfriend. So I pretended. Pretended I love jazz while I liked techno. Pretended I love Agatha Christie while I liked reading Archie's comics. Pretended I love Boudreaux while I liked string hoppers. But all that didn't help me. I had lost the love of my life because I pretended to be someone I'm not. My journey to recovery began on the 19th of December 2009. It was the school play, Red Riding Hood. I had no hope of making the star role in this figure of mine, so I auditioned for the part of the big bad wolf. but got the part of the woodcutter instead. So I stood there in murky brown trousers, hair pulled back up with an axe in my hand. As the story progressed, I realized that Red Riding Hood was not the hero of the story. It was I, the woodcutter, appearing on stage during last 5 seconds of the drama that saved the day. But no one was cheering me on. Everyone was cheering Red Riding Hood. But if it wasn't for me, that pretty girl would have been history. Who cares what the world say? I was a hero. The woodcutter didn't have a flowing red cape. He didn't have the perfect figure, but he was the hero. I'm not going to pretend I like Agatha Christie. I'm not going to pretend I like jazz. I'm not going to pretend I like Boudreaux. I don't even know what Boudreaux is. Tonight, as well as that night, I can stand here and say, I was scared. I was petrified. But still, I persevered and shut down the big bad wolf with my mighty axe. Because in this play called life, we are all born heroes. It is in our attempt to fit in that we forget who we truly are. As for me, I figured out who I am. I'm a nerd. I'm a bookworm. I have an unhealthy fetish for string hoppers. I am a hero.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 5, the lesson. The lesson, contestant number 5.
I wanted to be a doctor, but I'm afraid of blood. Although I was interested in becoming an engineer, I only scored 35 marks for maths. So, some time back, I decided to be a teacher. Mr. Contest Chair, ladies and gentlemen, I was nervous, really nervous. It was going to be my first day as a teacher. When I was about 5 years old, I used to wear my mum's sari and teach my little brother. He was like this. We usually start the session perfectly. But at the end, we are in the mother's court, where my brother always won. On this day, I was looking forward to see an active, playful group of young kids waiting for their new teacher. I could very well remember that I was wearing this same sari, but with better makeup, I suppose. I entered the class in the morning. What did I see? Children were running here and there. Some were crying. There were many angry faces and loud noises all over. In short, the class was in a mess. Out of about 35 girls and boys, one small girl caught my eye. She was fighting with another group of girls. Her eyes were gleaming with anger and at the same time filled with tears. She did not even notice me. What an inauspicious beginning for a special day. However, ignoring that, I started the class. As soon as I was born in 1991, my mother gave me the most valuable gift of all, the gift of love. Mother's love has no limit, no condition. It goes above everything and ensures that you are cared and protected. I decided to apply the same principle to this girl. I asked Kumudu to come to me. She came, showing no respect, no smile on her face. I asked little Kumudu to show me her book. She reluctantly went back and brought a book. The book. It had no letters, no pictures. All it had were her tears. Tears that spoke of her sorrow and anger. Above all, they spoke of her loneliness. The facial expressions of other students in the class showed me that they hate Kumudu. During the interval, I called the other girl who was involved in the fight and asked, "Why did Kumudu hit you?" She said, "Miss, she is naughty. She doesn't like anyone. We are scared of her." Now, I had to use my teaching hat. That painted a clear picture about Kumudu. I did not show my displeasure over that incident. She was also unapologetic and did not show any regret. I showed Kumudu a lot of love and friendship. I told a few words appreciating her presence in the class and being punctual. Soon I realized that she was changing. Her voice became soft. An innocent smile appeared on her lips. With these few but powerful signs of love, I softly told her, "Kumudu, you are a good girl, and good girls do not disturb others." Friends, she started changing. And that cemented the change in her, and I did not see any unusual behavior thereafter. What has happened to Kumudu? She was deprived of love and affection from her home. What she wanted was just an impression that she is loved and cherished. Kumudu taught me about the need of love and affection towards children. How about adults? Are they strong enough to thrive in their life without love? let me ask you, if you have a job and an income to live a decent life, can your powerful brain look after you without love and affection of others? A Mercedes or a BMW, a beautiful house in Columbus 7, will they replace love and affection you need? No, they will not. And I learned that from Kumudu. I was supposed to be her teacher, but in fact, she was the one who taught me the lesson. The lesson is simple. Love has no comparison. Love has no comparison. No matter how many bank accounts you have, nothing will compare to your Father's undying love. No matter how many rich and powerful friends you have, nothing will compare to your mother's protective instincts. Isn't it time that we stood up and admitted it to ourselves and the world? So, here I am today. My name is Nishani Moragoda, and that amazing lady sitting over there is my mother. She is the one who gave me the greatest gift of all, the unconditional love that I extended to Kumudu. Ladies and gentlemen, Kumudus are waiting. They are waiting for love and affection. It's we who can give it to all Kumudus in this world. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 6, Magic. Magic, contestant number 6.
My heart is pierced by Cupid, scorched by your immortal gaze. I am a mortal trapped in a maze of your undying beauty. Contest chair, esteemed panel of judges, you may sneaker of the grammatical errors that I've made in my poem. You may laugh of the exuberant way in the way that I've recited it. It matters not. For me, Those 3 lines are magic, pure magic, mainly because it comes from the one whose heart belongs with me. And ladies, I am giving it away. I was in search of this formula, the formula which could flutter the butterflies in my stomach and which could rise me up early in the morning and give me bright smiles when I saw my reflection in the mirror. And that was not abracadabra or hocus pocus. That was here, right here. And I call it love. It's not a simple or a cheap trick or any other form of illusion, but it's love for me. Speaking of me, I may look as if I'm 15 or even 16 would do. But for your information, I'm tiny, a bit older than that. And it took all of these years for me to realize what true magic is. When I was 5, I was suffering terribly from dengue, and I was lying all day long in the bed. There was this one person who came and rubbed my hair. She always saw my beauty, even though my face was unwashed or my hair was unclean. She still told me, "You're my sweet little princess." And that was my mother. She actually sacrificed the 2 slices of bread with a thin layer of jam so that I could have chicken soup. That was because we were financially down. And that love is beyond replacement. That love is beyond comparison. And it is magic for me. When I was 13, I used to go for this ballet class with my beautiful friend. We used to enjoy dancing in the floor with all the seniors performing with perfection. And like for everyone else, it was the most exciting time period of the year. The year-end concert. And of course, we were called for auditions. We were so excited. And my friend walked along with a pair of ballet shoes, whereas I didn't. So we danced in perfection. We did all the acrobats, poses, Frenchons, and life, and jambes à la tête. Finally, we posed as true ballerinas would do, in grace and in poise. But I got selected for the concert, whereas my friend didn't. But on the day of the performance, she was right on the backstage, cheering me up and encouraging me. And I had a beautiful pair of ballet shoes, which she gave me. Since then, whenever I get into stage, I'm reminded of the first pair of ballet shoes which I received to make me a beautiful and a graceful ballerina. And that sacrifice showed me love, which I consider as magic. When I was 20, I was all alone in the room. All the rooms were sky high and there was no one to talk to. All I could do was make myself into a ball and cry all day long. I wish if there were a genie so that he could grant me a wish and I had my home. But I knew that there was this one person to whom I could talk to whenever I want to. There was this one person who would be awake when I had sleepless night. So I rang him, and yes, he picked it up. We spoke all day long till dawn. And we laughed, we fought, we cried, and we sang. Since then, I know I have this strong pillar of support to whom I could lean to whenever I'm about to fall apart. I have this strong heart to whom I could run and cuddle and tell everything in my life because I know that he's there to listen to me. My friends may say, he doesn't look like Brad Pitt. True enough, he doesn't look like Brad Pitt. But for me, he's far more handsome than Brad Pitt. You all might think his lines doesn't equalize Shakespeare. Of course, his lines are not Shakespearean. Who says, sweet as love, I do not go for weariness of thee. But it takes a real man, a true man, and of course, my man, to say, I love you, you love me, will you be my girl forever? Over to you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of the first session. Hope you all had a fantastic session, and you all must be debating the concepts that the contestants brought out on stage here. And now we would like to break for 10 minutes to reward your taste buds. See you all at 6 o'clock, exactly 10 minutes, and we will be moving into the impromptu session after the break. And now, to entertain you all, we have 3 maestros in music. Gayan will be playing the flute this evening, Sankajit on guitar, and Chatura on violin. Enjoy.
invite Mr. Chamira Silva and Mr. Trimal Katipearachi to present token of appreciation to the Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor Sarath Amunugama.
So, ladies and gentlemen, starting off from where we left off, now we enter the impromptu speech session. This is going to be thrilling. This is going to be energetic and vibrant. Believe me, each and every contestant gets only a 5-minute preparation time. He or she has to come here, deliver, and do justice to the topic. Is contestant 1 ready? Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 1.
I was 7, and he was my hero, Shah Rukh Khan. The way he looked, the way he walked, the way he winked stole my heart. And that was why I decided to write out my love in a pink piece of paper, fold it into 2 or 3, slip it into a dainty little envelope, and send it all the way to India. Contest chair, esteemed panel of judges, and I did do it. I sat at my table with a pink piece of paper, and I wrote out the most beautiful love letter any girl could have written. I folded it, slipped it into an envelope, and posted it. And I waited for a reply. I only wished Shah Rukh's wife will not get hold of the letter and tear it into pieces of the sheer jealousy of this pretty girl admiring her husband. And I waited for a reply. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I waited for a reply that never came. But to this day, I stand up and I tell all of you that I was swimming against the tide and expecting that superstar to write out an explanation, to take his time and write out a reply to me. And I will always be proud to say that my heart had already been stolen by Shah Rukh Khan. Probable boyfriends in the crowd, you will be my fiancé, but you will never be the crush I had in my life. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all might be wondering how we manage 6 contestants without giving them the topic. Each and every contestant gets only 5 minutes. This is how it happens, right? We have 2 rooms into which one contestant is taken and given the topic. He or she gets 5 minutes preparation time. After around 2 minutes 30 seconds, the next contestant is taken in, while the first is taken outside. So we have a rotation going on like that, and we make sure that each and every contestant gets 5 minutes exactly. And at the end, after 6 contestants, I will announce the topic to you all for the benefit of the audience. Thank you. And now, contestant number 2.
A snub-nosed fellow, 5'6" guy, going to be a hero? A film's hero? He did. That was Charlie Chaplin, ladies and gentlemen. He made a tycoon out of his career. He is too serious into cinema. He is too serious. He's not dramatic. That was the great Gamini Fonseca who made our cinema so valuable. Well, contestant, ladies and gentlemen, it is always swimming against the current. Just imagine, once you are asked to do a certain things not to do, you get so tensed, you get so angry. That agony produces a certain spirit inside you that you gonna do that thing one day. Steve Jobs is the perfect example. Bill Gates, another perfect example. Of course, we as university students who were considered, you can't write A-level examination, you can't get past that, that is a long barrier. Yes, we did that. Just imagine a person who has only one leg. People say, you can't drive. Why? The other leg needs for the clutch. Well, for them, a one-legged person, a crippled person, made the auto vehicle. Even the two-legged people are using it now. See the humor in that? So, ladies and gentlemen, try to think of it. Whatever happens in your life, it is always about swimming against the current. That will make you the best out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, let us swim against the current. Thank you.
See, Mark Twain once said that in order to do a good impromptu speech, you need to prepare yourself for at least 3 weeks in order to do an impromptu. But ladies and gentlemen, they only get 5 minutes. They defy the law of Mark Twain. Contestant number 3.
I want to be a superstar. Contestant, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to be a superstar, so I went to a TV reality show where I need to sing and get some SMS votes. I went there. There were 2 cameras, there were a panel of judges. And I started singing my song. Opera Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. And then a fly went into my mouth, down to the And that was the end of my dream star dream. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to swim upstream, but the currents pushed me backwards. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether I wanted to follow my dreams back again. So I went to my uncle and asked, Uncle, what should I do now? He told me to sacrifice today and think of a future. And I went to my friend. He told me, come on, mate, just forget future, live today. I was confused. And while I was walking, I saw a fortune teller. I told the whole story and gave him my hand. He looked at it and he said, "You see this line? It's the career line. Very short. And you see this line? It's the brain line. Very, very short." I felt terrible. And he gave me a piece of paper. I looked at it, and it said, "You need to swim against the current." And I realized it was not the friend or the uncle or the fortune teller who need to decide whether what I'm going to do. It's me who need to decide what I want to do, whether I will fall back when the current comes or I need to swim against the current. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome contestant number 4.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Where in the world are you, you idiot? Mr. Contest Chair, ladies and gentlemen, I was 16, and he was this cheesy perfectness for a 16-year-old. Tall, dark, and handsome. The only problem was that he didn't have enough guts to ask me out. Poor guy. But I'm a girl of the 21st century. I am not going to accept defeat. So I practiced. I made a strategy. I am going to walk in this heels of mine, and I'm going to pretend to sprain my ankle. I would hobble over to him and say, "Hi, excuse me, could you please help me get somewhere? I've sprained my ankle." Perfect strategy. So I practiced 1,000 times in front of the mirror. Yeah, okay, perfect. Make the sad little face go like, "It hurts so much." Make the face. The day of decision arrived. So I was ready. I was looking at him. I was aiming to go when my friend was calling me. So what exactly are you going to do now? Well, I'm going to ask him out, but I have this brilliant strategy that I'm going to work out. Girl, the dude asks you out. You never ask out a guy. What is this? So I didn't ask him out. The next day, to my surprise, I see my friend hobbling over to that guy, telling him, "I've sprained my ankle. Can you please help me?" And a week later, I see them walking hand in hand like Romeo and Juliet. No one tells you what to do. This is the 21st century. Ladies in the house, if you like a guy, do not wait for your Prince Charming. Go and ask him out. The poor idiot might be stuck up on a tree. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 5.
Listen. Can you hear the beautiful noises outside? The sizzlings of the leaves of the trees. The beautiful voices that the birds sing. The nice ways that the rivers are flowing. If you can't hear them, just imagine. I know you can't hear them at this moment. The imagination takes you to a beautiful journey where you love your nature, the environment around you. About 1 year ago, my friends, my colleagues, my teachers were like this. Hello, girl. Are you mad? What are you going to do? Are you going to give up this? You don't want to be a doctor then, okay? You have got 2 A's and 1 B, but still you are saying that you can't go to the medical college. Why is this? Believe me, they were like that. Yes, I got 2 A's and 1 B from bio, and I could easily enter the medical college. But I didn't. Here I am in front of you, competing in the IUBSC Finals 2012. If I'm there, how can I come here and speak in front of you? You know, I can easily recall almost all the important incidents in my life for the past 15 years. From those, I did not see any of the opportunities I've got so far coming to me without marrying with challenges. So, if you are brave enough, just swim against the current. You will find something really, really interesting in your life. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome contestant number 6.
So here came the big day where I was about to go and talk to him. I gave my best flirtish smile ever. I flattered my eyelashes. And here I go. Oh, hello. I actually was about to fall. Esteemed panel of judges, contest chair. You know, swimming for me is not just being a part of the squad and going 100,000 miles and 400 individual medley, relays, and everything. Swimming against the current for me is that coming across your day's chances.
You know how I tried to actually be the best flirtish girl and give my best hello to my crush, and actually it failed. The current did not come. What could I do? I was practicing all day long. Oh, hello was one way. Oh, hello was one way, and actually got scolded by my brother for being too flirtish. So, swimming comes in everyday your life. It's not just get into the block and say, waiting for take your marks, go. No, swimming against the current is today. And being and appearing the best on stage, even though with high heels, is actually swimming against the current. Over to you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of the impromptu session as well as the whole speech contest, the prepared and the impromptu sessions. And now I would like to call upon all the 6 contestants up on stage, and Shakila, my colleague, will be joining me.
Okay. Now we'll be moving on to a small smear campaign.
This is the fun segment of the Intra University Best Speaker Contest.
Can we have all the 6 finalists on stage, please? We are looking forward to ask some secrets from these finalists.
Okay, so we have 6 finalists today, and ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. Okay, and you all might be wondering as to who they are and which faculties and departments they represent in the university. So I would like to kick off the smear campaign by asking my good friend Wajindra Kannangara from the Faculty of Commerce and Management a question. So Wajindra, I am told, and we saw today, that you are a pretty good impressionist. He can mimic people and animals. He's very good at that, believe me. What animals can you imitate or mimic? Or who are the people that you can impersonate?
It's too insulting. It's not insult, but it's kind of, I did something for fun. So
I need names, animals and people.
Animals, you saw the cock-a-doodle-doo, but I used to mimic Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Wow.
Can we have a small segment of Shah Rukh Khan? Say 2 or 3 seconds. Yes, please. The audience, do you all love it? Yes. Audience loves it. Shah Rukh Khan.
Okay, I'll do it. Only once. Have you ever seen Devdas? Devdas?
Yes.
I'll do one scene. Paro, तुम आज नहीं आओगे? हाँ. मैं शराब तो पी जाऊंगा. हाँ.
Wow.
Wajindra Kannangara, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Now I would like to interview a girl who is representing my degree program, which I'm doing, the Environmental Conservation and Management. I'll be interviewing Nishani. Nishani, can I know your profile in the university?
What do you mean?
Does anyone call you bye just because she had a very nice bye to her male seniors? No. Okay, well, can I know about this? Hantana trip, and why did you fell down?
It was not actually falling down. I wanted to try myself climbing, and I did not want to give my hand to any other person to help me. So just I climbed it myself, and I was not falling.
What I got to know is as far as I know, she has lots of admirers in the university. So she did not want to give her hand to any guy to help her. So that is why I also admit it's not kind of falling.
Okay. And now we move on to Minoli. This is Minoli, ladies and gentlemen, Minoli Vijayatunga, following the Environmental Conservation and Management degree program. That's what I do. And Minoli. Yes, thanks for the compliment, I believe, from the audience. And Minoli, I would like to ask you 2 simple questions. Actually, I would like to ask you 3. Do you love public speaking?
Definitely, yes.
Do you love Gavaliers who do public speaking?
Of course, they're like family. I love my family.
Right. Would you consider marrying a Gavalier, a fellow public speaker in future?
Okay, I might have if it wasn't for the fact that I already found my Prince Charming.
Nicely done, very nicely done. Thank you, Minoli, thank you.
Dinuk, I'm sure you do not have a secret hope on her, okay?
No, of course not. No offense, Minoli, by the way.
Okay. Now, girls, we do meet people, especially guys, who pretends to be very brave and smart in front of people. But still, when it comes to ghosts, most of the people are scared, even if they are guys. Now, we do have a person who is given his father's car to go on partying in the night. And does this story is familiar to someone, Ravi? Can you please elaborate the story?
We went to a party, and it's just that those guys there, I had to drop them at home. So I went there, and do I need to tell the whole story? Well, nothing happened, but I went, and it was around 2-3 a.m. So coming back home was not a good idea at that time. So I went to one of my friend's place and stayed that night. That's what happened.
Just because his friend was telling about some stories about ghosts. Unless he could have come home earlier. He is very afraid of ghosts, as far as I know, by his friends. Though he looks very proud.
Moving on to Nandula Pereira. This is Nandula, representing the Faculty of Humanities. Nandula, she is a very subdued, timid, shy personality in the Gavel Club. She's an eloquent speaker, as we all know. She reads books very well. But I would like to ask you something out of the ordinary. Tell us something that we don't know about you.
You mean the Gavel family? Anything. Okay, this is an experience I had while I was going on sponsorship hunting. And apparently my mother she's in the crowd, and she's very concerned of me going out with guys. She always would prefer if I have a girl companion with me. But this happened when we were going for sponsorship hunting. It happened to be that myself and I believe it was Minoli and two Gavile Rajita and Gavile Chamira were to go on a sponsorship. And on that day in the morning, we got to know that Minoli was not coming. So I had to go out with both of them. And to this day, she doesn't know that I went with two guys. And nothing went wrong.
Mom, your daughter's adventure. Okay.
All right. Okay, Auntie, you don't have to bother. I'm so very sure that the Gaviliers, the male Gaviliers, are so very disciplined because I have been in the Gavel Club for 3 years. Okay.
We are disciplined.
Okay. Do you know any person who sleep talks and keep on entertaining their roomies? Do you know any person, Lavanga?
I am going to so screw up Manduli and Udumbara.
Okay, can you experience your stories, sleep talk stories with us?
Okay, it was like this. First it began with my parents. I think my parents have better experiences than Manduli and Udumbara. So it was one night when I was lodged in my room with the two friends that I apparently have screamed in my dreams. And so my friends have been having a wonderful time, and I still see them having a wonderful time. Okay. So, yes, that was it.
Okay, thanks a lot. And we would like to thank all your friends for helping us in order to...
For supporting us with so many facts, and
yes.
we had no clue about this. See, these were facts that their friends provided us with. And thank you all the friends of Minoli, Raveen, Vajindra, Nandula, Nishani and Lavanga. A loud round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the 6 finalists of the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. All right. Now it takes me great pleasure to invite the guest of honor, Mr. William Linzenmeyer, the political officer of the United States Embassy to Sri Lanka and Maldives, to voice his thoughts on the public speaking in the global arena.
Aibuwan, Vanakam, and hello. Thank you, Vice Chancellor Amu Nagama, Dr. Fernando, Mr. Chimera Silva, other distinguished guests, students, and contestants. Thank you for inviting me today. On behalf of Ambassador Michelle Sisson and the entire staff of the U.S. Embassy, I appreciate the invitation. I feel honored to be asked and have been very impressed with what I have witnessed tonight. To the participants, I say this: your instructors, your family, and your friends should all be very proud of each and every one of you tonight. The Gavel Club of University of Kilauea brought prestige to the country on the 21st of October, 2004, by becoming the first Gavel Club of South Asia. As you are aware, the main purpose of the Gavel Club is to help its members to improve their communication and leadership skills. The Gavel Club of University of Kilauea has been growing ever since 2004 towards the benefit of not just the university, but the entire university community in Sri Lanka. This is the 4th consecutive intra-university Best Speaker Contest to which students of all faculties of the University of Kilauea, the Faculty of Medicine, the Faculty of Science, Commerce, Management Studies, Environment, Humanities, have participated. And I applaud the efforts of the Gavel Club to reach out to the students of all those different areas. Public speaking is a vital tool for success. However, for most people, the fear of speaking in public keeps them from even trying. In fact, there have been studies that have shown that the fear of public speaking ranks higher than the fear of death itself. This is an important point because it reinforces how dedicated and brave these participants are. There are many benefits to being an effective public speaker. Some of these can help you in your chosen career, whatever that career field may be. Prior to coming to Sri Lanka and starting my position with the U.S. Embassy in the political office, I spent 22 years in the United States in the private sector. I'm here to tell you from experience that learning to effectively communicate, both through public speaking and writing, will greatly increase your chances of success. Here are 5 key reasons why learning to be an effective public speaker is such a good thing. You will be viewed as the leader. Most people are afraid to speak in public, which means that when presenting, most of the audience will be thinking, "There's no way I would do that." This demonstrates bravery and shows leadership ability as you step up and do something that most people fear. Number 2 is increased exposure. Public speaking gives you an opportunity to communicate your message to many people at once. Think of the network effect a powerful message has. How many people will they tell? The exposure to your potential clients or colleagues is endless. Number 3, gain trust. Being in front of an audience can make people feel vulnerable and exposed. The audience picks up on this, and if you communicate a genuine message effectively, you'll gain their trust. And we saw that tonight. Reduce your competition. In business or in any other field, your competitors, many of them, will be afraid to speak in public. And this is your secret weapon. Go to the areas that they're afraid of. While you are connecting with your target audiences, they will be hiding in their offices, too afraid to make those important connections. And number 5, accomplish something great. Taking on any challenge is empowering as you redefine who you are. Public speaking represents another opportunity to grow and achieve success. Do it whenever you can. Practice, practice, practice. Every time you speak and improve, it's a boost of confidence, and your list of opportunities expands. I noticed in the program book, there's a quote from one of the sponsors. There's a quote from Dale Carnegie. And when I was in the United States years and years ago, I took advantage of a Dale Carnegie course on human relations. And I will tell you this honestly, is the best gift I ever gave myself. I was at a fundraiser for a high school back in the U.S., and I was very broke at the time. But I wrote a bid for this class. And at the time, it was a 16-week. They meet one night a week for 16 weeks. And my uncle had talked about it, and I knew about it, so I wanted to try it. So I wrote the highest bid I could afford, which was still underneath the basic value of the class. And then I stood in front of the bid sheet until the bidding closed, so nobody could sign their name and put a higher number. That's how much I wanted this thing. And it was a great course. I really enjoyed it. One of the things I will tell you I learned from this Dale Carnegie course on human relations is he talks about when you try something new, like public speaking, you expand your experiences. And when you expand your experiences in life, it never shrinks back. It just continues to expand. So I would invite you to go to the library sometime or try Amazon.com, find the Dale Carnegie books, and pick them up. They're very, very useful. Finally, here are some action steps to help guide you as you move forward in life. Think less and engage more. In any speech, there's an introduction, a few main points, and a conclusion. Many speech instructors suggest to only write out the main points to address. Everything else said in the presentation functions to support those main points. As the late Dale Carnegie preached to his students, talk about what you know. This allows you to focus on remembering your outline of a few points and frees your capacity to engage the audience through eye contact, instruction, gestures, and most important, to look natural as you speak, as if you're having a one-on-one conversation. The audience wants you to succeed. As an audience member, you have one objective, and that is to gain value and to learn. The next time you present, ask yourself, what value am I providing? If you identify what you give the audience, focus your thoughts on, I'm presenting to an audience that is here to learn from my expertise. This reduces the fear of speaking to an audience. Take action now. There are many benefits of public speaking. It is a great way to gain exposure, self-confidence, and success. Every great speaker started out as a poor one. There are no born great speakers. What made them great is their willingness to try and try and try again, and view every opportunity as a learning experience to becoming great. There's an expression, it's not what happens to us in life, it's how we respond to what happens to us. And nowhere is that more immediate than in public speaking. Much of the fear of public speaking revolves around failure, so here is my definition. Failure is having a goal and allowing the fear to prevent the first step. Take your next step towards becoming comfortable speaking in public today. Your future success awaits you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, symbolizing our gratitude to all who helped us in order to make this event a big success, to hand over the tokens of appreciation, I would like to invite Trimal Katipearachi and Shamira Silva, accompanied by the fellow Gaviliers, Uvani Suravira and Punsisi Alahakon. The tokens of appreciations will be presented to the guest of honor, Mr. William Linsenmeyer, and to the Director of the Career Guidance Unit, Dr. M.P. D. Fernando, and to the Senior Treasurer of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Dr. M.P. D. Diyamulla, and to the Patron of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Professor Kapila Seraviratna, and to the panel of judges. Now, I cordially call upon the President of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya, Mr. Shamira Silva, to address the gathering.
Good evening, my dear ladies and gentlemen. I was a fresher and I knew very little about university. Seniors in a battle to make us join various associations and clubs. Among them, I heard the name Gavel Club. I thought another kind of an entertaining club. It is said that this is Toastmasters. Affiliated to Toastmaster International. Oh my God, they are going to toast us even, I thought. Now, after 3 years, it gave me a great pleasure and pride to present myself today as a member of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya and affiliated to Toastmaster International. Above all, what makes me proud is that I am a member of the Gavel like no other. A club which is all about mutual support, a club dedicated to improve communication and leadership skills of the undergraduates. Gavel is a place where we feel free to express ourselves, irrespective of gender, seniority, class, and caste. And that's the secret behind our growth. Not just as a club, but as a family with so much faith and joy in it. Being the first Gavel Club of the South Asia, we have inspired many number of universities and schools by producing excellent leaders for the business field in the country. Going a step ahead, we provide an open platform to undergraduates to bring out the hidden speakers inside them. Every other year, we organize All Island Inter-University Best Speakers Contest and Intra-University Best Speakers Contest. Last year, it was All Island Inter-University Best Speakers Contest, and this year, we are having the Intra-University Best Speakers Contest with 6 finalists competing for a one title. I guarantee that they would take your breath away tonight. I take this opportunity to thank everyone who gave us immense support to make this event a success. Well, coming this long could have not been so easy for them. Even if you win the title tonight or not, you all are winners already. So I congratulate all 6 finalists and wish them best of luck to bring us great pride and Toastmastering like the previous year's contests. Gavel family gave me a lot of opportunities, memories, and experience. Except one thing. Even today, they still never let me into the, can you guess, refreshment committee. Long live Gavel. Over to you.
Thank you, Chamira. And to propose the vote of thanks, I would like to cordially invite the Secretary of the Club, Gavilier Anjali Caldera.
Well, thank you, Dinuk. This is the end of another milestone in the history of the Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya. Mentioning that it is another great achievement of the present members of the club, I would now like to take this opportunity to pay my gratitude to the distinguished guests who joined hands with us to grace the grand finals of the Intra-University Best Speaker Contest 2012 on behalf of the Gavel Club. So first and foremost, my heartiest thanks goes to the Honorable Chief Guest of this evening, Vice Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, Professor Sarath Amanugama. Though he is not here at the moment, I would like to appreciate his guidance and encouragement given to us throughout this event. We are also delighted to have the presence of the guest of honor of the event, His Excellency Mr. William Linsenmeyer. We are inspired by your gracious presence here, and many thanks for devoting your precious time to this event, sir. Further, I would like to extend my special thanks to the Director of the Career Guidance Unit, Dr. Narada Fernando, and the Senior Treasurer of the Gavel Club, Dr. M.P. Diamola. Thank you, sir, for the immense support and guidance given to us from the preliminaries to the grand finals of the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012. Then, respected patrons of the club, Professor Kapila Senaviratna, Mr. Ajit Medis, Mr. Ruan Abesekara, thank you for being with us in this evening amidst loads of work. Next, our honest gratitude and thanks goes to the esteemed panel of judges who played a major role throughout this event. So first of all, the mentor of the club and also the chief judge of the contest, Mr. Sujit Bandulaheva, Dr. Dilruk Shivathava, Mr. Sam Selvanathan, Mrs. Tanya Vithanage, and Mr. Nalin Basnaika, and also the tiebreaker judges, Asanka Vikramasinghe and Mr. Sandamar Ranatunga. Moreover, I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate the great contribution given to us by the judges of the preliminaries and semifinals. Thank you for the efforts you put to find the best among the contestants. So please give a big round of applause to our respected judges. Well, it's a great pleasure to see the Toastmasters here today, and my honest gratitude to them as well for gracing this occasion. At the same time, it's a great honor to see the lecturers of the University of Kelaniya. Thank you for gracing this occasion as well. Further, I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for those who sponsored us in various ways, namely as our official print media partners, Vijay Newspapers, and official beverage partner, Coca-Cola Company, and official food partner, Ceylon Biscuit Limited. In addition, it's a great pleasure to see all the other respected invitees, undergraduates from other universities, students and teachers from government, semi-government, and international schools, loving parents and undergraduates of the University of Kelaniya. Thank you for adding glamour to this event. Let me extend my thanks also to the non-academic staff of the university who helped us in each and every moment throughout the event. And also our gratitude paid towards the technical crew in this evening. In conclusion, my special thanks also goes to the contestants of the event. If you all were not there, we couldn't have accomplished this task successfully. Now the time has approached to pay our gratitude to the past members of the Gavel Club who has worked hard for the betterment of the club. Well, Rome was not built in a day. Likewise, a grand event like this cannot happen overnight. It was a long process. With dedication and courage of each and every member of a family. Yes, I would say that Gavel is a family as we are united together, brothers and sisters. So let me bring the successful team behind this grand event onto the stage. Shamira. Our project chairperson, Trima Katipearachi. Treasurer, Akib Real. Vice President of the club, Shakila Dinuk. Co-project chairpersons of the event, Samanmali Sakala Surya, Rajita Jagodarachi, Assistant Secretary of the club, Punsisi Alahakun, and all the other members of the club, please come to the stage.
All the Gaviliers and the non-Gaviliers who helped us, please come on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, they have toiled nights. We have shed tears, we have shared emotions. We have stood together, we have cried together, and we share the joy. This is our family. This is what we are. The Gavel Club of the University of Kelaniya.
Strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Thank you very much. And now, the energy in this room is once again electric. I need not say as to why the energy in this room is electric.
Because we have come to the most anticipated moment of this contest, presenting the awards to the winners.
We had 22 contestants, the preliminaries, out of which 12 competed at the semi-finals, out of which 6 competed here at the grand finale. So I would like to call upon the senior treasurer of our club, Dr. MP Diyamulla, on stage to award the certificates to the semi-finalists of Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012. Dr. Diyamulla will be assisted by Punsisi Alahakon, Uwani Pinsara, and Anjali Caldera.
Okay, here we go. The semi-finalists who gave a very good competition at the semi-finals to all these finalists. The first semi-finalist, Randima Tilakaratna.
Randima Tilakaratna.
Gayani Fernando. And Matisha Fernando.
Matisha Fernando. Lakshika Visera.
Shadika Wazir.
And Manduli Katugampola.
like to remind Lakshika Adiseram and Manduli Katugappala were the reserved finalists. Please give them a big round of applause. And to award, thank you very much, sir. And to award the awards for the best prepared speaker and for the best impromptu speaker, which was selected according to the nominee, how he or she has scored at the semi-finals.
So, I would like to warmly welcome Dr. Narada Fernando, the Director of the Career Guidance Unit, to present the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, the best prepared and impromptu speaker goes to one particular person.
Who is that?
I think in a long time, in 2 or 3 contests, and in each and every contest, usually the best prepared speaker is one contestant and the best impromptu speaker is another contestant. But this time, this is Minoli Vijayatunga. She scored the highest in the prepared speech and impromptu speech category at the semi-finals, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Fernando. Thank you very much. We have 6 contestants, out of which one will be crowned the champion, one the first runner-up, and the other the second runner-up. They have worked hard, believe me. All 12 of them, all 12 semi-finalists were on par. They toiled hard. But now we have 6 finalists. And the second runner-up at the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012 is. But before that, I would like to warmly welcome Mr. Linsenmeyer on stage to present the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, the second runner-up of the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012 is Ravin Pereira. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ravin Pereira, representing the Faculty of Commerce and Management.
We have 2 more to go. The first runner-up. The first runner-up of Intra-University Best Speaker Contest 2012 will be
Lavanga Swarnasinghe, ladies and gentlemen, representing the Faculty of Humanities.
now the most awaited moment.
The coronation of the event. This moment, we have waited for this moment for a long time. We have predicted using many a statistical model, literally, for over 3 months as to who would be the winner. We have coached each and every contestant, believe me. The 12 semi-finalists, they have undergone rigorous training. But you don't want to listen to me. You just want to know the name of the champion of the event.
Yes. The champion of the Intra University Best Speakers Contest 2012 is Minoli Vijayatunga.
Minoli Vijayatunga, ladies and gentlemen, the champion of the Intra University Best Speaker Contest 2012. A loud round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Minoli Vijayatunga, representing the Faculty of Science, following Environmental Conservation and Management.
And a small reminder, she's from my school, Vihara Mahadevi Balika Vidyalaya Kiribadgoda.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to present the certificates and awards for the finalists. In no particular order. Finalist number 1, representing the Faculty of Humanities, Nandula Pereira.
Give her a big round of applause. And the finalist, Wajendra Kannangara.
The Shah Rukh Khan impersonator. And the impressionist. Nishani Morogoda. Thank you, Mr. Linsenmeyer. Thank you very much, sir.
And this officially remarks the conclusion of this ceremony. And I would like to say thank you very much for your presence and have a good night. Until we meet from Inter-University Best Speaker Contest 2013.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of our nation.